Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast. Man, I had to knock out my last segment of the day, man. I want to talk about Brandon Sorbsy, the former Texas Tech quarterback, the former Cincinnati quarterback, the former Indiana Hoosier quarterback. But hey, listen, man, before I get started, man, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, also the share button. Make sure y'all give me y'all feedback on what you all think about this segment. It's not going to be too long, but I just want to talk about Brandon Sorbsy, the former quarterback for Texas Tech. Y'all know that Brandon Sorbsy has been ruled ineligible now. Well, actually, he wasn't ruled ineligible. He just bagged out. You know, he just said, you know what, I'm not. I think that the noise was getting to him when they was pretty much when the NCAA said, you know what, we're gonna take this, well, not the NCAA, the Big 12 said we're gonna take this into our hands now. And I think that he just went to. I don't think it was Texas Tech. I think it was Brandon Sorbsy. I think Brandon Sorbsy went to Texas Tech and said, you know what, I don't even want to put y'all through this. I'm gonna go to the supplemental draft and I'm gonna withdraw from college. My college career is over with. Which I think he did the right thing, because think about this, y'all. If you gamble on your own games, you have to be ruled ineligible. Some judge in Texas, you know what? We're gonna make sure that you're eligible because of your mindset. We're gonna say, now, anybody that does wrong, of course, they're gonna have. Of course, they know that they're gonna lose things. If you do wrong, you're gonna lose things. But this judge said, you know what? If we ruled him ineligible, that's pretty much going to mess with his money. Of course, that's what it's supposed to do. What the hell you think that it's supposed to do? If you gamble $90,000 on betting in college football as a college athlete, as a college quarterback, and most of them was on your own game, you should be ruled ineligible, bottom line. But the NCAA has no power. So the Big 12 had to step in, and they had a conference, and a lot of these teams were saying, you know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do to Texas Tech. We're going to rule him ineligible to play in the state of, let's just say Indiana. He cannot come to Indiana. So what was going to happen was he was going to be forced to set out some of these Big 12 games. So I think that the writing was on the wall. I think Texas Tech was going to fight it. I think they was preparing to fight it to the end. And then you got Ken Paxton. Ken Paxton was going to step in and say, you know what? The NCAA cannot do nothing to Brandon Sorbsy. Even though he did wrong, you still cannot do nothing to him. Now, what the hell is Ken Paxton doing? What the hell do why do Ken Paxton care about anything that goes on in college football? Think about that. He say you cannot do nothing to Brandon Sorbsy, but the Big 12 say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure that he's ruled ineligible. And that's exactly what they did. Yeah, man, sometimes, man, you have to ban these comments, man. Yeah, because sometimes people just do dumb shit. I don't know why. But anyway, like I said, so the Big 12 said, we're going to step in and we're going to do this. So then what did the Big 12? The Big 12, they did what they did. But Brandon Sorbsy, I think, went to Texas Tech and said, you know what we're going to do? I'm not going to put you all through this. So I'm going to set out. I'm going to go to the supplemental draft, and then I'm going to go on to the NFL. But I'm going to tell y'all why I think that's the wrong decision for Brandon Sorbsy. I think this is what I think Brandon Sorbsy should do. I think that Brandon Sorbsy should go back to Texas Tech, not as a football player, just go back there and use that amazing facility that they have and just work out for a year. Work out from now all the way until the NFL draft. You get yourself an agent, get yourself a team, and work out with maybe a quarterback coach and prepare for the NFL draft. Next season NFL draft. let's go down the line and look at the quarterbacks in next year's draft. Because Brandon Sorsby was gonna be a top player. What's so I'm looking up the quarterback that's in next year's draft. Okay, I know you got you. We don't even know. Listening to Arch Manning, listening to what listen to the head coach. What's his name? The coach for Texas. He's saying that Arch Manning might end up coming back for another season. So Arch Manning is really just a junior right now, so he can come back another year. So he's saying that Arch Manning might come back, but Arch Manning is going to be the top quarterback in next year's draft. You got Dante Moore, okay? You got CJ Carr. Now, that's right here is where it becomes a little cloudy. When the top two quarterbacks are going to be Arch Manning, and I think Arch Manning and Dante Moore. Those are the top two quarterbacks. But right after that, it's wide open. Brandon Sorsby could be third best quarterback in this class, next year's class. Brandon Sorsby could be the best quarterback in next year's class. Think about it. You got Lenore Sellers, CJ Carr, Julian Sayans, Nico Alamalinavi, Sam Levitt. But I think, this is my opinion, I think Arch Manning is probably going to be the best quarterback in that draft. Dante Moore probably going to be the second best. Or it could be flip-flop. It could possibly Dante Moore be the number one quarterback, Arch Manning the second best quarterback. But I think Arch Manning is going to get drafted just off of his name. He's going to be the number one quarterback just off of his name. And then maybe Lenore Sellers. But then right after that, I think Brandon Sorsby can be right there in that area right there. If I could do a mock draft right now, I would probably say Dante Moore or Arch Manning will be the number one, number two quarterback taken. But then after that, honestly, I think Brandon Sorsby could be the third best quarterback. I think Brandon Sorsby could be a quarterback how Ty Simpson was this year. Maybe right there in the middle of the first round, maybe around the 15th to 17th pick, him being a first round draft pick. And if not that, maybe Lenore Sellers go the third best quarterback. But then right after that, it's wide open. Julian Sayans, I think he's going to be a hell of a quarterback. I think he's going to have a monster season this year with those two big wide receivers out there on the outside. I think that he could possibly come up and be a third or fourth best quarterback. But Brandon Sorsby, just depending on how he do at Pro Day next year, I think that he can have a monster. I think he can jump up that draft board. And let's just look at Brandon Sorsby. Brandon Sorsby is the type of quarterback, when you pull him up, he's a big quarterback. He's a big quarterback. And like I said, I just think that by him going back to school for the year, by him going back to Texas Tech and just work out, man, he had a good year last year. It wasn't like he was a bad season. You know, he was the top in 2025. He was the top passer in the Big 12. He had 27 passing touchdowns with only 5 interceptions. Like, listen, that is the reason why he was the number one quarterback in the transfer portal. I think by him going back, by him just working out, those numbers right there is going to be transferable to the NFL. You can say what you want to say about him. You can hate him. You can be mad at him. But listen, the kid, I think that if he goes back to school for one more year, would do him good. I think that it would pretty much, he would possibly be a first round draft pick. And let's just look at, I'm going to break him down right now. He's a 6'6", 235 pounds. You're not going to tell me that no NFL team will be drooling over a 6'3" quarterback, probably 6'3", 6'4" quarterback, 235 pounds, and he can run. He's very athletic. Over 7,000 passing yards, 60 passing touchdowns with 22 rushing touchdowns. To be honest with you, I don't think Brandon Sorsby should go in the supplemental draft. I think he should go back to school. Go back to Texas Tech, work out for 1 year with a quarterback coach, and then possibly into next year's draft. Like I said, it's the next few drafts are going to be weak at the quarterback position. It's like next year's draft. Yeah, you got Ars Manning, you got Lenore Sellers, you got those guys, but nobody is a surefire. Ain't nobody in there that I'm gonna be like, that's this quarterback right here. That's a surefire superstar. I think that the Caleb Williams and the Drake May, and also the kid from Washington, the Commanders. I don't think that you have that type of. I don't think you're gonna have that type of class. I think Brandon Sorsby can sneak into this quarterback class right here, and depending on how he do at a pro day, I think that he can be one of the top quarterbacks taken in next year's draft. He could possibly be a top 15, top 20 pick next year's draft. So why go into the supplemental draft and take a risk and maybe be a 4th round pick, 3rd round pick? I'm just saying, that's what my opinion. Now, somebody was telling me, said, no, he cannot go back to school. No, he cannot get in next year's draft. Let me see. Because people say anything. So we're going to look this up now. Yes, it says yes. If Brandon Sorsby does not get selected in the 2026 supplemental draft, he will pretty much generally be entered in the 2027 NFL draft. But I just feel like he should just go back to Texas Tech, work out for a year, and then enter next year's draft. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I said that this right here wasn't going to be a long segment. Man, I just want to say thank y'all again for listening to the Winner Circle podcast. It's been great. I'm gonna bring y'all more segments, but my segments is gonna be a little bit more. I'm gonna start including multiple segments in one segment. Say like today, unless I'm talking about something personal, like in the world, I'm not gonna put that right there in. But if it's sports related, I'm gonna go sports, and then it's gonna be in one segment. Even though I don't like doing it like that, but I think that right there will be more because I edit all of this stuff myself. These segments right here are pretty much live. But even when I start editing my stuff, I'm gonna start doing it like that as well, talking about multiple things. But man, I just want to say thank y'all. And for the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Y'all get everything y'all need, everything y'all want. This Father's Day, I know Father's Day ain't really that important. They don't really treat it like Mother's Day, but I just want to say happy Father's Day to you all. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the Brandon Sorsby situation. It's been a fallout, but I'm just gonna reiterate it one more time for the people that didn't see it. I feel like he should go back to Texas Tech, train for a year, enter the 2027 NFL draft, and possibly be one of the top quarterbacks taken in next year's draft. Like I said, it's not a loaded draft of quarterbacks. A lot of those quarterbacks might go back to school. CJ Carr might go back to school. You never know, man. And like I said, Brandon Sorsby is one of the best quarterbacks. He's a dual threat quarterback. You know that NFL team love dual threat quarterbacks. So I think that he could possibly go back to school. I mean, he possibly could get in that draft and be one of the top quarterbacks, depending on how he do at his pro day. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And thank y'all again for listening to the Winner Circle podcast. Until next time, peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose trace. She raised me on scraps.